Hello, everyone. My name is Mary, and today I have a message for you regarding seeing your world from a different perspective. And the tarot card that this has a lot to do with is this one right here. This is the Hanged Man. This guy's hanging by his ankle, but he's not upset about it. If you look carefully at his face, he's complacent. He's not upset. He's not angry. He's not struggling to get free. He is looking at his world from a completely different perspective, and that perspective is giving him a gift. Being forced or being given the opportunity to see his world in this from a different viewpoint, from a different vantage point, is opening him up. And the evidence is right here in the halo around his crown chakra and around his crown and third eye. He's really seeing the world completely differently. And this is an energy that I think we need a lot more of right now. It's something that will open us up to all the gifts that we are just waiting for, that we have been believing in. It's going to open us up. Like if you saw my previous video about the current energies, you heard me, I think, mention like these two, the star and the sun. These come after the devil card. So after you face this guy down, you get to see and experience oneness with creation. That you get to see yourself as the star, the sun, and eventually you see yourself as connected to all that is. But a key point of the process is this: the Hanged Man, seeing your world from a different perspective altogether. And I have a story about this, which I hope will illustrate it. So, story time. Several years ago, a good time ago, I worked at Barnes & Noble. And this was years ago. This was way before COVID. I worked at Barnes & Noble a few years before COVID, but I don't really remember when this happened. I don't remember the year this happened. It could have been like 10 years ago. So I'm working at Barnes & Noble, and this was during the time when Barnes & Noble was like, a lot of tables. People would come and camp out. They'd come and do their work. They'd have their meetings, and just, it was a place to be. It was a place to stay. There were all kinds of chairs and tables and just everywhere. People would drag chairs around here or there. I remember at the end of the day, we'd always have to be dragging chairs back to where they belong. And so it was usual for people to spend a lot of time there. And a lot of people would come and spend a lot of time in an area, like some sort of like nonfiction area, and really go through the books. And one time, and that's like, it's perfectly normal. And this one time I saw somebody in the art section, and I was working that second floor area. So I was, walking by this person quite often, and I let him do his work. He had those big art books, that have all the masterpieces in it. He had those books open and he was looking at them. He would turn them like on their side. He'd turn them upside down. He'd lean it up against the shelves and then step back and look at it. He was looking at all these different artworks in a completely new way. He was looking at them upside down, and eventually we got into a conversation, and he said that he is an artist and he actually loves he's delving into looking at artwork from different perspectives, because he himself looks at his own art that way. He doesn't just look at it one way. He looks at his art multiple ways to see, to sort of like get a full picture of what's going on inside his painting. And then he said, from looking at the Mona Lisa and various other artworks, I saw things that nobody has seen before. And he said to me, did you know there's an alligator in the Mona Lisa? And I'm like, no, is there an alligator in the Mona Lisa? Like, I actually saw the Mona Lisa. Millions of people have seen the Mona Lisa. I was in Paris during my college years for a college trip, and my friend and I went to the Louvre, and we sort of made a beeline to the Mona Lisa and took a look at it. I didn't remember seeing an alligator. But this artist showed me a picture of the Mona Lisa, and he showed me the angle you got to look at it to see the alligator. Now I could be remembering this incorrectly. This was several years ago, so I don't remember exactly what he showed me, but I believe it was an alligator. Apparently there's a lot more hidden in the Mona Lisa, and this guy has written a book about it, and I will tell you his name and his website afterwards, or at the end of the video, because right now I want to focus on the gift here. And the gift here is that this guy looked at a painting that's been around for a long time, that a lot of people have looked at, that a lot of people know very well, and saw something that very few, if any, have seen before. He saw these hidden pictures right hiding in plain sight in this beautiful piece of art that we thought we understood, you know? Like, I don't know, I never really just, thought that I needed to scratch the surface of the Mona Lisa and delve deeper into it. But this guy sure did, and found something great. And that is what he did. This is exactly what he did, is that he changed his perspective. He really did. This guy isn't in it for the short term. He's not like, no, he's hanging there. He's stopped. His world is stopped until his perspective can really give him a gift, the gift of something new, the gift of what he's looking at, until enlightenment comes. He is committed. He's here. He's doing it. He's shifted his perspective, and he's not giving up on this until he gains the gift, until he sees. So my thought here, and I just thought of this guy like yesterday. I'm like, oh yeah, that Mona Lisa guy. He actually wrote a book about it. So if you want to know more, read the book. I'll tell you the name at the end of the video. So if Leonardo da Vinci can hide all kinds of like cool stuff in a painting that, millions of people look at, we all know by heart. Like if I ask you, close your eyes and visualize the Mona Lisa, you will see the smile, you will see the face, you'll see it in your mind's eye. You probably won't see the alligator, but you'll see that painting. Everybody knows it. If Da Vinci can hide gifts in that painting in plain sight, then what did our Creator hide within us? What did God put inside our world, just waiting for us to discover it, waiting for us to become enlightened, to receive the gift, waiting for us to sort of light up the way he's lighting up here, the way his crown is just like, it's like the light bulb going off above the head in the cartoons. It's like the aha, I get it, I see it, I have been expanded, I have been enlightened sort of moment. And it all comes from shifting your perspective and seeing your world differently. And I'm sure that there's stuff hiding in my world that I have not seen yet. And I'm like, for me, I want to invest in really seeing my world differently, myself differently. And I'm sure that like what's going to show up in my world, I wonder, what's going to show up in the world, what's going to show up in your world when you do that. Like you might see this that you didn't see before, perfect happiness just waiting for you. You might see abundance waiting for you. And another card that comes to mind that I pulled out was this one, which sort of like is the opposite of this. So here's this guy who's seeing his world from a different perspective. And these people are not seeing what the help that is available to them. They're walking right beneath the stained glass window, which indicates like higher guidance, higher help. And these people are not doing well. They could use that help, and they're not seeing it. They're struggling. So they need a hanged man moment, these guys. So the hanged man is all about seeing the world from a different perspective and being ready to discover the secrets that you haven't been noticed before. And I think this is a moment that we all need. This is a gift we all need to sort of take advantage of, is how to see our world and ourselves differently. I think our bodies, our world, our each other. I think everything could look completely differently if we give ourselves the gift of just, perhaps saying to ourselves, it's possible that I'm not seeing everything exactly clearly. It's possible that I'm missing something that's staring me in the face, a gift that will help me to ascend, that will help me to up level, that will help me to expand, that will give me that aha moment, all the things that you have been wishing for, hoping for, the things that God wants to give to you. It's possible that just a shift in perspective will bring that about. Now, I will say that if you saw my current energies video, you heard me talk about this guy. So it's possible that by shifting our perspective, we will be confronted with a lot more of this, which brings a lot more of this. But this, the destruction, the deconstruction of the world around us, leads to these guys, leads to light. It leads to unity. It eventually leads to unity consciousness. It leads to the, being connected to God and the world and all of creation. It leads to all of that. So seeing our world differently, I think, is a huge gift. And I think that's something that I know that I could use a little bit more of, and I know everyone probably could too. This is a moment in our evolutionary journey as a human collective for us to stop and say, what are we missing? How can I look at my life differently? What sort of gifts and secret knowledge is just waiting for me to discover it? Because just like the Mona Lisa, right there in plain sight, all kinds of symbolism, all kinds of hidden pictures we're just waiting to be discovered. So now I will tell you the name of the guy. His name is Ron Piccirillo, and he wrote a book, and it's called Solving Mona Lisa. So if you go to, let me just double check the name because my memory is kind of crazy. If you go to his website, he has ronpiccirillo.com. But if you go to solvingmonalisa.com, you will find his book. And the book is called Solving Mona Lisa, The Discovery of My Life. And I don't represent him. This is not an endorsement, but if you're curious about this guy, this artist, and what he discovered in the Mona Lisa, go ahead and read that book. I haven't read it yet myself because I just found out that he wrote a book about his discoveries. I think he might have mentioned that he was writing one. I don't remember. It was years ago. But I'm really curious to get this book and find out and read a little bit more about it. But that's him. And so my prayer for you is that you find the hidden treasures, the hidden secrets inside your world, inside the universe, just waiting for you to discover them. And this is my prayer for myself as well. I pray that we all have the courage to become like the Hanged Man and see ourselves in the world differently and become enlightened, expanded, and blessed through that. So thank you for watching. I hope you gained something from this, and I will see you next time. Bye.